Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. And today we are going to study distance from two camps. This is a part of the 12th class NCRT chapter, India's external relations, and we're going to study about the formation of NAM and NAM as an organization and the other developments that took place before the Indo-China conflict had happened, and all these issues we are going to take up in the video today. So welcome back, and now we're going to start that the first heading is distance from two camps. Now this distance from two camps, we had discussed in the last video that India wanted to remain non-aligned and it pursued the dream of a peaceful world by advocating the policy of non-alignment. This is a very important statement that India actually did not want to be a part of any of the military alliances of the US or the USSR. So therefore it pursued a policy of non-alignment. And also it wanted to reduce the Cold War tensions by contributing human resources to the UN peacekeeping operations. Now, we might wonder that why did India not join, any of the two camps during the Cold War era. Now, as I said, that India wanted to keep away from any of the military alliances because they were against each other, and India did not want to, be a part of any of this, confrontation, any of this war. So now we knowing about the military alliances and what they were. So first of all, the US military alliance was called NATO, which is the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and the Soviet led or the USSR led military organization was called the Warsaw Pact. They both were existing in this Cold War era and had confrontations against each other, which were economic, military, and in different senses. Now India did not want to be a part of any of those, so this was a very difficult balancing act, as we may know, because when we are existing globally, it is difficult that you maintain a standpoint where you're not taking a side of any of this bloc. So this was difficult, and sometimes definitely the balance did not appear perfect. So in 1956, when Britain attacked Egypt over the Suez Canal issue, India led the world protest against this neo-colonial invasion. But issue, I'll just in brief introduce you the Suez Canal issue. So the Suez Canal is actually the first canal that directly links the Mediterranean Sea to the Red Sea. Now it was opened for navigation in November 1869. So this 150-year-old canal was controlled by British and French interests in its initial years, but it was nationalized in 1956 by Egypt. So this led to a Suez crisis. So Suez crisis is what? International crisis in the Middle East, which happened in July 1956 when the Egyptian president Gamal Abdel Nasser nationalized the Suez Canal. This canal had been owned by the Suez Canal Company, which was controlled by the French and British interests. Now, this Suez Canal issue between the Britishers and the Egypt, so this emerged big, and now India had led the world protest against this neo-colonial invasion. But what happened, that in the same year when USSR invaded Hungary, but India did not join its public condemnation. So now here you see that India, when Egypt had nationalized this Suez Canal and British government attacked Egypt over this, India took a protest against that. But now when Russia had invaded Hungary, India did not join the public condemnation, and therefore while remaining non-aligned, India did take a side of the USSR. So here you understand this point that maintaining a perfect balance in a global arena is not practically sometimes possible. This way, as we see that because India did not take extreme standpoints, So therefore, in the side of any of the blocs. So therefore, on various international issues, it could get aid and assistance from members of both the blocs. Now we'll discuss about the other developments that took place in this time. That while India was trying to convince the other developing countries to join its non-alignment policy, in this time being, Pakistan had joined the US-led military alliance. So definitely, as we know that Pakistan is a neighbor of India, and India and Pakistan do not share good relations with each other and have this continuing rivalry since India has been independent. So as we know that, so therefore this particular development that Pakistan had joined the US-led military alliance, India was not happy about it. Definitely, why would India have been happy about it? Because now if Pakistan, its rival, joins the US bloc, so this creates a tension between India and Pakistan. And US was not happy about India's independent initiatives about the policy of non-alignment, because we had discussed in the last video also that as US is a democracy and India is the largest democracy, US, which portrays as a leader of democracy, so it definitely wanted that India should have joined its military bloc, but US did not but US was unhappy that India did not join its military bloc and pursued a policy of non-alignment. So therefore there was a time period that there was considerable uneasiness in the Indo-US relations during the 1950s. And at the other hand, US was also unhappy that India had a growing partnership and friendship with the Soviet Union during the same period of time. The US was unhappy about that, India followed a protective policy about its economy, and there was a very limited export oriented growth, and this strategy limited India's economic interaction with the other parts of the world. So India remained very protective about its economy, and it had not liberalized its economy till 1991. So therefore we know that US was unhappy about it, and this led to a resentment that US did not like what India was doing with its economy and why it was growing closer with US. Part of the chapter which is about the Afro-Asian unity, which was growing. Now, as we know that Africa is given very big in size, location, and India is also very big in size, location, and has good power potential. Now Nehru imagined a major role of India in the world affairs, especially in the Asian affairs. Now, this era was marked by the establishment of contacts between India and the other newly independent states, the other countries which were getting independent. And now Asia and Africa had shared this same time period where the countries were getting independence. It was a time of 1940s and 1950s, and Nehru had always been an ardent advocate of this Afro-Asian unity. Now, in the Asian Relations Conference in March 1947, and India had made a lot of efforts, you can say, for the freedom of Indonesia from the Dutch colonial regime by convening an international conference in 1949 to support its freedom struggle. So as we know that India had been colonized itself, so it supported the decolonization struggle and the decolonization process throughout the world, and India was a staunch supporter of the decolonization process. It opposed racism and especially the apartheid, in South Africa. Now, the first Afro-Asian conference held in the Indonesian city of Bandung in 1950. Conference held in the Indonesian city of Bandung in 1955, which is called the Bandung Conference. It marked the peak, the zenith of India's engagement with newly independent Asian and African nations. Now, this Bandung Conference, it is very important because this led to the establishment of NAM, and the first summit of NAM, now we know, was held in Belgrade in September 1960. Nehru was also the co-founder of NAM, and with other 5 nations, we will see that Nehru laid the foundation of this very influential organization called NAM, or the Non-Aligned of NAM. Here in this picture, we see the core leadership of the Non-Aligned movement. Here we see Jawaharlal Nehru with Kwame Nkrumah from Ghana, Gamal Abdel Nasser from Egypt, and Sukarno from Indonesia, and Joseph Broz Tito from Yugoslavia. They all here are gathered at the Afro-Asian Conference in Bandung. If people came together and laid the foundation of the organization of NAM, which today has over 120 plus countries in its members. And what was the purpose of this organization? Why was it made? Now we'll know about this. Now, purpose of this organization, it is listed or enumerated in the Havana Declaration of 1979, which was to ensure the national independence, sovereignty, territorial integrity and security of non-aligned countries in their struggle against imperialism, colonialism and neo-colonialism and racism, and against all forms of foreign subject. Principles of NAM are respect for sovereignty, sovereign equality and territorial integrity of all states, and peaceful settlement of all international conflicts, respect for the political, economic, social and cultural diversity of countries and people, defense and promotion of shared interests, justice and cooperation, non-interference in international affairs of states, promotion and defense of multilateralism and multilateral organizations. These are the basic principles of NAM that all the members of the NAM follow. All for watching this video about India and NAM, the NAM as an organization. In the next video, we will continue studying this chapter and we will focus on the Indo-China relations basically, and after Indo-China relations, we will focus on Indo-Pakistan relations. Thank you, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe and comment on the video. Thank you so much for watching again.